Hey, hey, y'all. Hey, hey. It's Sunday night, July the 5th, and most of us are preparing for the work week coming up that's starting tomorrow. I've been a bum all day today on purpose. I really had some other plans that I was going to do, that would have helped me prep for the week, but I put it off again. I just really needed that woosah time for myself today. And so I took it, and I mean, it felt good. I don't know where you live or wherever you're viewing from, but it has been thunderstorming today. Lots of rain, which is another reason why I stayed in the house. I love the rain, but I just did not feel like getting out in the rain today. Okay, I just did not feel like it. So yesterday, last night we did a reading. Well, it was wee hours in the morning. I did a reading, and it was for let's see, Gemini. And tonight we're gonna do Cancer. Let's see, I hope I got that in. Let's go say Cancer. If it doesn't say Cancer in the title, I will correct it. Okay. So let me put that in the chat. All right. So this reading is going to be for Cancer. I'm going to try to wait a few minutes and give you guys some time to get in here. A few more minutes. For those of you that was wanting to be present during the live, I hope you all enjoyed the holiday yesterday with your family and your friends, or if you were by yourself, I hope you enjoyed that as well. And I hope you had some time off, where you got a chance to sit down and just kind of relax and do you or whatever it is you wanted to do, or you took yourself out or what have you. However you celebrated yesterday, or you just relaxed, whether it was a celebration or not, I hope that it was beneficial for you, that you enjoyed yourself, and that you were being safe yesterday. Be safe every day, but you were being safe yesterday, where, you were having fun, but you're being wise if you went out. Okay. It's a lot going on nowadays. So I hope that everything went well for you guys yesterday. Okay. I'm going to wait a few more minutes and see if we're going to get anyone that's going to join. You guys will probably join after I get started, but I just like to wait a little bit. What was I going to say? Yeah, so it's been thunderstorming today. It got dark really early today. Like, I want to say about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was really dark. Because I was sitting in here on the couch, and I was like in the living room and just scrolling on my phone, relaxing, doing nothing, which is what I wanted to do. And it started getting really dark. And I heard some rumbling off in the distance, but I wasn't sure that if that was thunder or not. Well, maybe about 10 minutes later, it was really obvious that it was thunder. And another thing is, like yesterday, right before it got dark, everybody kind of try to wait till it get dark before they do their fireworks and everything. But right before it got dark around here, it had got darker earlier. So this storm came in yesterday and was here last night. I don't even know if it rained last night. And to be honest with y'all, I haven't been outside today at all. I slept in as long as I could, taking advantage of, you know, time off, downtime, and not having to do anything. So yeah, your girl was in the bed. I was. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And you guys, as you come in, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time that I do a video. I'm gonna go ahead and do my introduction that I gotta get used to. So welcome to Welcome to Raw Absolute Truth Tarot, where I receive messages from the Most High for the purpose of spiritual enlightenment. Keep in mind that every video may not be for you. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. And if I say he, it might be a she. And if I say she, it might be a he. Please don't take everything you hear personal, and the messages either apply or they don't. So please do not try to make it fit if it doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell to make sure you are notified whenever I upload a video or whenever I'm online. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. Also, you guys, please take a look at the shorts that I have already posted. There are several on there. I also have several videos that are not live that are also on this channel. I would appreciate if you guys would go to the shorts and the videos that are not lives and check those out as well. Make sure you comment on this video and hang with me until the end. This video reading is for the sign of Cancer. Cancer. So we're going to get started with some oracle cards today and try to get a feel of what Spirit would like to say to Cancer. Okay? This is for Cancer. All right, Spirit. All right, you see a card that is already turned over in here. That was already like that. I thought I saw it the first time I cracked these cards, and I did. Let me make sure I know more like that. Okay. All right. One more time. We're going to get some oracle cards and take it from there. I see another one that is turned over already. That is not supposed to be turned over. So we will shuffle again. Let me make sure it does. Okay. Let's see what happens. We'll see what's out here in the ethers and see what Divine would like to say. What's on Spirit's mind for Cancer tonight, okay? Let's stop real quick. My hands are dry. Spirit, Ancestor, Most Divine, Mother, and Father, what do you have for the sign of Cancer? How would you like to start this reading off for the sign of Cancer? What would you like to say to Cancer tonight? Please give me clear and concise messages that are not distracted. Nothing is distracting from this message. Okay. So I did want to say before I got started, as I was setting up the table and everything in the camera, trying to get prepared to do this reading tonight, that I started having like different little things happen. Like I couldn't find the mouse to the laptop, which I know I had put it in a certain place last night when I went to bed, but I couldn't find it for a good while. So I had to search for it. And it was hidden down in the cushion behind down in the couch behind one of the cushions. How to get there, I don't know, because there's a stand next to the couch where I put it along with the laptop. So anyway, so I had a problem with that. And then I almost tripped on the cord to the laptop trying to set it up. Okay. And then let's see what else happened. I had to keep getting things when I thought I had everything that I needed. You know, like I keep a lotion handy, I keep something to drink handy, you know, and then like I bring all my cards out, so that whatever spirit directs me which one to use, I use it. I had to keep going to get that. Like it was like different things that kept happening that was in the way. So I don't know if that's going to be significant to this reading for Cancer, but I feel like, you know, like something that is trying to hinder or stop something, or like get in the way, stop something from happening, something to that effect. I'm really not sure, but that's what I felt immediately. What I thought when like stuff just kept happening. I'm like, okay, like I had the feeling of like, what next? You know? Okay, there's 3 cards that fell out. Jeez. First card is the shock card. Okay. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, and epiphany, transformation. That's the shock card. Do this back. Hold on. Okay. Second card is the coffin card. Okay, and it came out in the upright. Shock card came out in the upright, and so did the coffin card. Third card is the grounding card. See that? It's in the reverse. Okay. Let's see. I have my hands in a lot of water today, cleaning, and I did some cleaning today. Then just washing dishes. I wash my hands quite a bit, so my hands are dry, and I'm not getting a grip on this card. So we got 3 so far. I'm trying to see if we're gonna do 5 or 6. Let's see what Spirit say. Much better. What else do you have? Spirit team of love and light. What else do you have for Cancer? I know you got some for Cancer. I know you do. Let's see. These cards I want to talk tonight. Only gave me 3. I might have to pull. They did not want to talk. I'm going to pull Sword and the Rose. Okay. Let's see if I can get another one. This Oracle deck is not that big. Like it's not a whole lot of cards like my other decks. So I kind of shuffle through these rather quickly. one more card, please? Because I don't think you want 6. I think you just want 5, right? You get one card, y'all. These cards do not want to talk, but I got a feeling they are going to talk once I get them all. They don't want to jump. They don't want to jump. I like them jumping. It's kind of weird that they're not jumping. Oh, this must be a pool night. Oh. I said they're not talking. Spirit is funny. They talking. Because this card says talking in the upright. Somebody is talking. Spirit say what? That is hilarious. Listen, I got something to say. What you got to say? This is looking crazy on my table, but we're about to see. That's just how I'm feeling. It may not. Oh, last one is the runner card that came out in the reverse. Okay, we'll put it down in the reverse. That is all for this oracle deck. When I split the deck, I'm not even going there. The bottom of the deck, we're going to leave right there. All right, so first card that we got is a shock card, okay? Shock card, shock. Like something shocks you. Something somebody did or something that somebody said. So SHOCK, shock. And it's sudden change, shocking news, surprise, an epiphany, transformation. So something is happening or has happened already, which is why it is saying it's a sudden change. Something is happening, has already happened, or is getting ready to happen. It's a sudden change, some shocking news about something or somebody. It's going to come as a surprise to some people, you know, and whatever this is, it may cause some type of change. This transformation is on the card. I don't know what kind of change it may cause, but whatever it is, it's going to be a shock. Next card is the coffin card that came out in the upright. It says new beginnings, liberation, reborn, and transition, tragic endings. So whatever this shocking sudden change is shocking news that's going to be a surprise to someone or a bunch of people. Is going to cause that transformation. That's going to cause a sudden shift, a sudden change. Coffin card in this case does not mean the death, like a literal death. Okay, so this means a death to something and then a rebirth, which is what the transformation is saying on this card at the bottom. Okay, so there will be a death to something. I don't know if it's ways, thinking, practices, beliefs, habits, way of life, something. It's going to be shocking when it changes, or maybe someone is getting ready to go through this change, and when they do, it's going to shock people. I'm getting because people are going to be shocked about this person and this transformation with this person, because they're going to put to death some things that people probably are going to be shocked about, because they didn't think this person could do that, would ever change. And it's like that a lot of times. You know, I've met people and dealt with people for long periods of time, and I just felt like they'll never change. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear people that say anything is possible. So in this case, you know, it's going to be shocking when this person, whoever this person is, goes through this transformation and they start putting to death some things. And I'm hearing that what they're going to put to death is it's going to cut some people off, because they're not going to be able to kick it with this person like they used to, because this person is going through this transformation. They're going to start turning things and people down, and stuff that they used to do, you know, they're going to turn it down. Okay. And I heard the old little saying they used to say when I was in church, that things that I used to do, I don't do no more, you know. So somebody's getting ready to go through some type of transformation, and they getting ready to cut out a lot of stuff, probably that was low vibrational, and getting ready to turn some things around in their life and cut some things off, and some people, and it's going to shock the crap out of some people when they do this. They're getting ready to be reborn. And I don't know if this is like they're going to start going to church or some type of religious affiliation outside of whatever they were already doing. They're getting ready to step away from that and turn to something else. I don't know if it's a spirituality. They're going on a spiritual journey. I don't know what it is, but they're getting ready to cut some low vibrational stuff loose, okay? Which is attached to a lot of low vibrational people that they have been hanging around and interacting with and doing things with, or whatever, whatever that is, okay? And this transition is going to cause some tragic endings for some people, because some people are not going to like the fact that this person is going through this. This is changing on them. You know what I'm saying? So, Cancer, this is either you that's getting ready to go through this transition, or someone you know, or someone that's connected to you. And other people are going to be shocked as to, when this takes place. So, and liberation is also on this card. So it almost seems to me like somebody is freeing themselves. Reminds me of that song. Who sings that? Go ahead and free yourself. I forgot her name. But yeah, so somebody is getting ready to free themselves. They're getting ready to liberate themselves. They're going to do it themselves. They're not waiting for nobody else to do it. Maybe perhaps at some point they were looking for some way out, trying to get some help to do it, and maybe they weren't getting it. So I guess at some point they started realizing they're going to have to be the only one to save themselves, and so that's what they're doing. So this is what's happening. Those are just the first two cards, okay? Then the next card is the grounding card, which is in the reverse. You see that right there? In the upright, grounding is stability and security, performance, growth, and endurance. So this person probably did not have no security, and they were dealing with instability and insecurities. Not necessarily like when we say somebody is insecure, not like that. It could have been like stuff that's not see, how do I put it? It could be finances that's not secure, way of life is not secure, it's not sustainable, it's not something that they want to do for the rest of their lives. It's not something that they feel safe doing, or that kind of security. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel uncomfortable in whatever it is that they're in, that they're getting ready to leave. So their grounding is in the reverse. So at some point they were ignoring a whole lot of things and continuing that way of life. And then when they decided to make this change, they're standing 10 toes on the change, and this is going to shock some people. And so now they're trying to get stable. So it could be this person is either you, Cancer, or someone else is making plans to be stable outside of whatever this is that's going on with someone else. Or I don't know why this group thing keep coming out. Seems like in a lot of the readings that I've watched, and then in my own reading, I'm noticing group affiliations coming out, and these are not good groups. It keeps happening. I don't know what's going on, but that's what I keep seeing. Okay, and that's what keeps coming out. It's the same energy that keeps coming out. So somebody, either you, Cancer, or someone else, is getting ready to separate from, or just change your life, period. It may not necessarily be a group, but because you have friends and you have family, that could be what the group is. You're not necessarily in no group, like a bunch of y'all are together doing the same thing. It's not that, okay? So somebody's getting ready to have a new beginning. I don't know who this is. It's either you, Cancer, or someone else. And you're getting ready to free yourself from some things that were holding you back, whatever it was. It could be people, it could be anybody. And it's going to be like a rebirth, some type of transition that's happening, and it's going to cause some tragic endings to relationships and connections that you have with other people. Take this as it resonates. And the grounding card is here to say that you weren't stable and secure at first, but now you're about to be, because you're about to start growing. And you're about to find that stability and security that you was looking for, okay? Fourth card of the Oracle deck is the Sword and the Rose, okay? Now, I've never gotten this card before out of this deck that I can remember. Duck. I almost said duck. Somebody need to duck? Maybe you need to watch what's going on and keep your head on a swivel. Somebody may be coming after you or trying to stop you or to some effect. I don't know. I don't know why I almost said the word duck, but I don't get the feeling that it's a duck like a bird. I think it's ducking like something coming at you and you need to dodge. You need to bob and weave. You need to get out, make sure whatever is being thrown at you don't hit you. That's what I get the feeling of, okay? Sword in the rose is clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, and determination. So whatever you're aiming to do, you want to be clear about what direction you're taking. You want to be clear about what was holding you back as well. So you're going to be truthful with yourself if it was something that you were doing that kept you stagnant and stuck before you decided to go ahead and take these, steps to free yourself. Okay. So you're trying to be clear and be honest with yourself what it is that was in the way. Now, pause right here. Remember I said when I first started this video, I said in the process of me preparing to do this video, setting up the table, getting my cards and finding the laptop and finding the mouse, I couldn't find the mouse. It was hidden from me. So I wasn't real clear as to where it was when I know where I put it because it wasn't next to the laptop. And then I found that it was hidden down in the couch, down under the cushions. I don't know how it got there, okay? Because I know where I put it on the stand, okay? And then I had to keep getting up and going and get the different things and that I thought I had already. I'd already, had it all figured out, and I didn't. And so we have the Sword in the Rose card that has the word revelation on there, okay? So things were being revealed. It was revealed to me where the mouse was. It was revealed to me where I had left my cards and stuff, and everything was not where it was supposed to be. Yet I thought I was prepared. I had to keep getting up, and then I almost tripped over. I almost tripped over the cord to my laptop, which is crazy because it's really out the way. But it almost seemed like that cord reached out and grabbed my foot. I'm being honest with you. Literally. And so this is why I said, I feel like when I almost said duck, I said duck. I felt like, I was like, why did I say the word duck? Because something is going to try to hold you back, Cancer. Something is going to try to trip you up. Like I almost got tripped up with that cord. It's going to be a lot of little different little roadblocks that's going to come around that, is going to make you feel lost, like you don't know what you're doing, even though you thought you did, you felt like you did. You're going to feel a sense of confusion. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt confused as to where the mouse was when it's not on the stand next to the laptop. And I'm just going, okay, why? I always put it on the stand. Why isn't it there? Revelations is on the card. It was revealed where the mouse was. So that energy that I was feeling is before I started this reading is coinciding with this reading already. You're going to be clear as to what direction you want to take, and you're being honest with yourself as to what you need to do to make sure this happens. You're understanding the repercussions of making this drastic change in your life at this, I heard, this far in the game. So you could be older and something you have been doing or way of living, you probably have been doing it all your life and are known for that. So this is why it's going to be a drastic change. And it's going to be shocking to people. Because maybe you're the type of Cancer that people were saying will never change. You're never going to change. And look at you changing. This is going to be shocking to some people. It's going to be shocking to the family. But them the main ones that be saying they know how you are. You never going to change. Yeah. So you get ready to honor and protect the decision that you make. You're honoring yourself. You're starting to love on yourself, Cancer. You're honoring the things that you want and want to do in your life. You're honoring your feelings. You're getting in touch with your feelings and your emotions. And you're Cancer water sign. You already got some of that going on. Water signs is cups. A lot of cups. A lot of waters, a lot of motion, a lot of movement in the emotions. Yeah. And then the next card is the talking card. And remember when I was shuffling and none of the cards would fall out? I like for them to fall out. I feel it's more directed from the Most High than myself. I don't like to pull. And so the talking card fell out when I was saying, well, these cards is not talking. And then talking card came out in the upright. Okay. So it says interested, awaiting messages, text, calls, email, talking more. Okay. So perhaps I would say that this is going to strike up a conversation or some talking about behind, not necessarily behind your back, but just amongst people that didn't believe you would change. I believe that that's a part of that I'm feeling right now. That's a part of the shot, because there's going to be people that's going to be talking to each other that know you. All these people know you and they have known you for a while. So yeah, they're going to be talking. They're absolutely. But then it says interested, awaiting messages, text, calls, email, talking more. So maybe when you free yourself and you're free from all the things that was holding you back, you're free from opinion and free in your mind and clear about the direction that you're taking and being honest with yourself, going into those dark places of yourself where you often dismiss, and admitting to yourself that there are different things about you that you need to deal with, that you have avoided. Once you do all these different things and you free yourself up, perhaps someone is going to take notice and they're going to want to talk. And I don't know if this is somebody you already know, or this is going to be somebody that's going to be watching your transformation, and they're going to take interest in you because they're going to see you changing for the better. They're going to see you standing up for yourself. They're going to see you loving on yourself, and they're going to want to holler at you. So this may be a new love. I don't know. They're going to want to. So it's going to be some texting. You guys, they're going to reach out to you and wait for you to message them back. And it's going to be some texting, some calls, emails. Y'all going to be talking. It says talking more. So it might be somebody you already know that's probably was hoping and praying that you would change. And now you finally are. Okay, Cancer. Okay. Somebody holler at you, Cancer. This might be somebody you want to talk to anyway, but you didn't think it was going to happen because of the way you was living your life at first. And this person probably was not living that type of life. But y'all had like a little flicker, a little flame, a little something, but you could not move on that because y'all were just not in alignment. So maybe that's what's about to happen. Last card is the runner card, and it's in the reverse. Okay. The runner card in the upright says fear of intimacy, running away, intensity, and letting go, turmoil, and fleeting. All right. So I just said this could be possibly somebody that you already know, where you guys had that type of attraction, a little something going on once before, but you really couldn't go full-fledged with it because y'all were in an alignment. And the card that came out is the runner card that's in reverse, because possibly you was running from this for a long time. You had to run from it because of the way you was living your life. You didn't, you felt like it wasn't nothing you could do with that, even though, and it was sad for you, but because y'all wasn't compatible, they wasn't going to bend, and neither was you. So it's in the reverse because you don't want to run no more because you're coming out of this mess. So you're not about to keep running. That's about to end. And you and this person are more than likely getting ready to get together. There's going to be nothing in the way now. Nothing in the way. You making this change for the better is getting ready to open some doors for you. And isn't that what you wanted? I get the feeling it was hard to make this change because you know that there was going to be some, some pushback from people about this, because even you, in your head, you probably was going, wow, I I'm really about to do this. Yes, you are. And it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Everything is going to work out. I feel like, and I'm knowing how the laws of the universe work, when you are serious and your intentions is upright and you walking upright, you in integrity, and you make these changes, it's not easy at first, but if you're determined and you stick with it, you'll receive the help you need along the way to help you on your path. Okay. And then there's blessings that's attached to it when you turn down things that are low vibrational. There's blessings that's attached to that. So you can expect some doors to be opening up for you, Cancer. And then there's a possibility of new love. So I haven't even asked, but I was going to ask Spirit for a card for the shock card, SHOCK, the sudden change, the shocking news, the surprise, the transformation. I was going to ask for a card on that, and I got the Page of Cups in the upright. And the first thing it says on the card is creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, and new love. Did I not say new love? Spirit don't be playing. My team do not be playing. I just said it's possible when you was running from this, it was somebody that you was running from because y'all had something that you couldn't really move on. You couldn't act on because y'all wasn't in alignment. And why I get the Page of Cups to say new love on this card. Okay. So the shocking change, the sudden change, the shocking news, the surprise, the fact that you have chosen to walk a righteous path or spirituality or Christianity or something that takes you away from the darkness. Okay. You have decided to do that. Then your creative juices is getting ready to start flowing. Your ideas that were stagnant before is getting ready to start flowing. Okay. You're starting to hear from the Most High. He's going to start getting your messages and your dreams, and you're going to possibly hear some things that you didn't hear before. You're going to be aware of some things. Your third eye is going to be opened up. You're going to see things that you didn't see before, signs and synchronicities. I always get that word wrong. Synchronicities. And the possibilities is going to be opening up left and right, and opportunities is going to be opening up. You're going to start getting some happy surprises, because I know you were getting some surprises before, but they weren't good ones, and they're getting ready to turn around. And you're probably going to start dreaming according to this card, where the Most High is going to start giving you messages in your dreams. You're going to be very sensitive to spirit because you have decided to make this change. And then new love is the last thing on the card, and that's coming in for you as well. So congratulations, Cancer. Okay. Sounds good so far to me. Do you have another card for the shock card, Spirit? Yes, you do. Thank you. This is the Queen of Cups that came out in the upright. Let me show you. Okay. So the Queen of Cups is a compassionate person, comforting person, a calm person, a nurturing person, a healing person, a person that's emotionally stable. Intuitive is on here again, which is on this Page of Cups card. So here it is twice. And a caring individual. You could have been the opposite of this at one time. You could have been the opposite. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, doesn't matter. There's no gender in tarot, but you could have been the opposite of this, Cancer, at one point. You could have been a person that didn't have any compassion, and you probably weren't a comforting person. You probably was a person that liked for other people to be uncomfortable around you. You know what I'm saying? And it says calm on here. You could have been a person that wasn't calm. You probably could have been somebody that was uptight all the time with anxiety and anxious all the time. You know, and then probably got mad real fast. Who knows what it was before this? You know, you weren't a nurturing person at one point, Cancer. But it's saying that all these things is coming to you now at this point, since you made that decision to walk the righteous path. You weren't a healing person. You probably was a person that did a lot of damage. You know, all signs have toxic people within the sign group. You know, there's toxic Cancers, there's toxic Taurus, there's toxic Pisces, there's toxic Sagittarius, there's toxic this. Every sign has them. So you could have been a little bit on the toxic side. You know what I'm saying? You probably weren't emotionally stable at one point, or you know what I'm saying? And now it has intuitive on here, which means when this is in the upright, you probably wasn't listening to your intuition at that time, and you probably wasn't caring. But it's in the reverse, which is saying to me that these things right now, this is something that you want. Did it come out in the reverse? Wait a minute, hold on. I done forgot. No, it came out in the upright, I believe. So this is in the upright. This is saying what you're getting ready to start doing. Okay. These qualities you were the opposite of before, but since you changed course on some people and for yourself, these qualities are about to be a part of you. These are going to be a part of your characteristic of your makeup of who you are. You have anything else for the shot card? One more, please. My spirit said move on to the next one. Okay. So we're going to move on to the coffin card. Okay. Coffin, not meaning a literal death. Okay. Coffin meaning the death of something, which what you're doing right now is the death of old ways. The death of the old you is being laid to rest. You are being reborn. You are being renewed. You're liberating yourself from the chains that were binding you before that kept you stagnant and stuck in the dark. You are transitioning, and it's going to be a tragic ending for a lot of people, because in the process of doing this, in order to stay that way and maintain course, you're getting ready to cut off some people and change your ways, and it's getting ready to shock some folks. They're getting ready to, start talking and just be super shocked that you're even doing this. Like, what happened? You see George don't be hanging out at the bar no more. Nah, George be at the house. What? George used to be at the bar all night until it closed. You had to make George leave. Nah, George don't do that no more. So for the coffin card, the justice card just came out. Justice is in the building. See that? And it's in the upright for the coffin card. So along with putting to death the old ways and the tragic endings and people being shocked and you being reborn and born and transitioning to who you're supposed to be, who you're meant to be, you're on your path. Justice says that it's going to be fair for you, because a lot of people is not going to think it's right, and they're going to be upset and mad because you are leaving them behind, and they're just going to say that it's not fair. But justice says that it is fair, because this is for you. This is not for everybody else. This is the path that you're supposed to take, and everybody cannot go with you. So the truth is, that justice says is that it's fair. Okay. And you are, and here's clarity on this card again. And then this is on the board twice. Came out with a sword and the rose card, clarity and truth. Here it is again on the justice card, where you're going to be sure about your path. You're sure about this time. Okay. You're getting ready to be balanced. You're understanding the laws of the universe of cause and effect. And then that's actually on here. And then law itself, the word is on here as well. So you understanding some things. So possibly you had experienced some karma from the way you was living before. And this is like, was the last thing that happened, was some serious karma for you could possibly have happened. And you're just tired and you're ready for this change now, Cancer. Okay. You're just tired. You figured something that maybe what you've been resisting all this time has got to be better than how you've been living your life and the stuff that's been happening to you. So something, whatever it is, caused you to make this decision, and you're just tired now. And all you got to do is what you're doing right now. Spirit say, I got the rest. I got the rest. I didn't even get a chance to shuffle. Second card for the coffin card is the Wheel of Fortune. When I say it raining, it's pouring. You understand what I'm saying? Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Justice says it's fair. I said you're going to start receiving some blessings. You're going to start hearing from the Most High. You're probably going to start dreaming. You're probably going to have clairaudience where you start hearing things. You're going to start listening to your intuition. And then the blessings is going to start flowing because you chose the righteous path. And justice said that it's fair. And then the Wheel of Fortune came out and said, yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. Everything you said is true. This is what's about to happen for you, Cancer. You're really about to be blessed. You made a good choice. And Spirit is backing you up on that choice by saying, okay, since you did that, let me give you a little something. Let me help you out here. Because we don't want you to go bad. That's what is happening here. So you're getting ready to have some good luck, darling. You're getting ready to have that good karma that we call Dharma. That's what's about to happen. This is your destiny that you have been avoiding all this time. Cancer. This is the turning point in your life, the fork in the road. You took the right path this time. You knew which path leaded to where last time, and you went the other way on purpose. But this time, you made the right choice, okay? This change is going to be beautiful for you. What you're getting ready to receive, the doors that's getting ready to open, can't nobody stop that, okay? Because justice is in the building saying that it's going to happen, and then backed up by the Wheel of Fortune, meaning that that's a double confirmation for you. That means can't nobody stop that because it's for you. Don't try to take people with you that's not on the same path that you on. They're going to try to hold you back. You're going to have problems, Cancer, if you do that. Okay? So you about to have it. So it's good that you finally made up your mind, Cancer, okay? Because somebody is going to try to hold you back, like I said. I felt that, and I said it a little while ago. And here we got the 5 of Cups in the upright. There's some regret here. You could be having some regret for not making the choice sooner, okay? You could be, or it could be somebody else that's watching you transition and they regret, that they didn't take this ride with you because you're leaving them behind. You understand? So they are, you probably felt at one point before you made this decision that you was a failure, because you was having so much bad karma that was happening to you. You just felt like, don't nothing work out right for you. You know what I mean? And then when you made this decision, you're going to start seeing, if you haven't already, you're going to start seeing that you're not a failure and things are working out for you like they're supposed to now that you took the righteous path. But before, when you was in the dark and you didn't take the righteous path before, you was having them roadblocks. You was having stuff that was holding you back. You was having stuff that was hindering you from getting things done and completed. Sometimes totally missing the mark. It had you confused, like I was talking about before I started this video, about how I was confused as to where my mouse was, how I almost got tripped up coming to the table to set this table up to do this reading, how I had to keep getting up and going backtracking to make sure that things was the way it's supposed to be so I could start this reading. And that's how you felt before you came out of the dark, because you couldn't see where you was going. And look at you now. You done came over to the light and the sun is shining, Cancer. And Spirit said, guess what? I got something for you. And it's good. But you do got somebody that's going to be in regret with this 5 Cups. They in regret. Because they not going to take this journey with you. And they hate to see you go. So they're disappointed. You was disappointed in yourself and where you was when you was in the dark as well. You did feel like that failure. You very pessimistic. You didn't think nothing was going to work out right for you. You were losing things left and right. And you was grieving the things that you was losing, friends and stuff, and I don't mean like a literal death. I mean connections that you had before you plunged yourself into the dark. Once you did that, you severed a lot of connections with people that you cared and loved, and people that loved and cared, about you. But now that you're back in the light, you're going to get that back and then some. You need some new friends now. You hear me, Cancer? You need some new friends. And I believe Spirit gonna bring them to you. Just stay on the path. The grounding card in reverse. What do you have, Spirit? This was when you was unstable and you wasn't having any security in the place where you was in. You weren't growing. All of that's changed and turning around now. Spirit, what do you have for the grounding card? Spirit said the Hermit is earth sign energy. Virgo or Taurus. And in the upright is soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, and consciousness. So you went within. This is the when you started grounding yourself. You started grounding yourself. It's a grounding card because you wasn't at first. That's why it's in the reverse. But you started grounding yourself. You started meditating. You started doing those things to bring you out of the darkness. You started checking yourself out, going into them dark places within yourself that you avoided. You knew you was in the dark. You knew where you was. You knew what type of life you was living. You knew what it was. You knew that it wasn't nothing good. You knew that. You was okay with it at first and you was enjoying it. But at some point, I don't know what happened. Something happened and you just said, I don't know what you said. And you was like, I'm done. And you cut it. That's what you did, Cancer. And you went within. That's why we got this Hermit card. You started grounding yourself and you really went in and doing some introspection and checking out yourself and your mind and your psyche. You trying to figure out why do you think the way you think? Why do you feel the way you feel? Why do you see people the way you see them? Why do you see life the way you see it? Why do you move the way you move? Why you have these habits? Why you got these habits? Yes. You had to get by yourself. So you started isolating yourself on purpose. People thought it was weird. You started hanging at the bar. They didn't know where George was. They were like, George ain't at the bar until it closed. And wasn't no last call for alcohol. George was been gone. George went home. George had 1 or 2, and that was it. He wasn't staggering out the bar. And nobody had to help George. George didn't get sick either. George went home after 1 or 2 and went home and got himself together. Because George had to go to work in the morning. And George said, I can't do that no more. I'm done with that. And the next card for the grounding card in reverse is the Magician in the upright. There you go. That's the Magician, right? So you took some action. Abracadabra. Snap out of it. And that's exactly what you did. You snapped out of it. He said, it's time to get cracking and create some things. Let me be the Magician and poof, I'm no longer that person anymore. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna think it's a magic trick too, because like I said, it's a lot of folks that they know you, Cancer. Your family know you, your friends have been on you all your life. That everybody, they know how you normally were, you know what I mean? They know that. So you about to pull a rabbit out the hat, literally, as the Magician on them. And abracadabra, wave your wand and be like, poof, I'm gone. I'm not doing that no more. That's what you about to do. You're going to start manifesting a better life. Walking in the light. That's what you about to do. You done took your power back. You're not doing that no more. You're not going to certain places no more. You know? And I mean, it's sudden. You just suddenly did it. You didn't just slow gradually. No, you cut it off, right? You just one day and woke up and was like, I'm done. And people really think it's going to be like, it's a magic trick. This ain't real. He going to be back. She going to be back. Yeah. And here's clarity again. 3rd time on the board. Now, let me clarity on the board 3 times in this spread. You are sure, absolutely sure, 3rd time's a charm, that this is the path you're going to stay on. This is the path. This is what you want to do. You're sure this time can't nobody shake you. So whether they think it's a magic trick or not, you're gone. It takes a lot. It took you some willpower to get to that point. But once you did, you really did that. You did that. And Spirit is saying bravo with the Justice card and the Wheel of Fortune in the upright for you. And it is so. Okay? Sword in the Rose card. Now, the Sword in the Rose card has a clarity on there. That's one of the cards that has clarity on there, okay? So you're very sure about what you're doing right now. Sword and Rose. So you're cutting something with the sword, okay? And you're getting ready to grow some things. You're getting ready to grow. Roses representing growth. And sometimes it represents love. And in this case, we're getting to that there is somebody that want to talk to you, okay? But the Sword in the Rose card has clarity on it. And then to clarify the Sword in the Rose card, we got the Knight of Swords. Okay. Another sword. You understand what I'm saying? Another sword. Sword is used to cut. Okay. Or to dead something. So this is you being ambitious and cutting stuff off. And the Knight of Swords. This is an action-oriented type of card. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me let you see it. I'm holding it in my hand. There you go. And it's in the upright. Okay. So you thinking fast now. You fast, thinking fast. You light on your feet right now. You know, being nimble. Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jumping over the candlestick. You moving. You bobbing and weaving. Remember I said duck earlier? That's what you doing. You bobbing and weaving. You rope-a-doping. You ain't, you know, it can't nothing stop you. You on your way up. That's what it is. And you defending this stance that you have right now. You standing 10 toes on it. And that's on this card as well, on the Knight of Swords card. You is not playing. And it is shocking, folks. Wait. Damn. You see Angie? Angie is not playing, y'all. Y'all better leave her alone. She not playing. Not playing at all. Standing 10 toes on it, cutting it off, dead in situations, and not caring. Anything else for the Sword and the Rose? Yes. Thank you, Spirit. You got the 7 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Are you turning down some stuff? You see all that stuff? You turning all that down. That's trying to lure you back. All that stuff that was trying to trip you up. All that stuff that was keeping me from getting to do this reading tonight. You turning out. All that stuff was in the upright. You see all that stuff that's in them cups? That's jewels and treasures and riches and this and that and the other. It's a temptation. You said, nope. No good. I'm not doing that no more. That's exactly what this card is saying. You said, I am not doing it. You are in alignment now. You're in alignment. You are on your way. You're taking the baby steps, but you're trying to take them big ones, but you're really trying to put distance between who you were and where you're going. That's what you're trying to do right now. This represents a bunch of choices, and it was overwhelming at one point. You know, when you was trying to come out of this before, you didn't make that final decision, and these were the things that was in the way, keeping you from being, you know, going on that path, that journey. And you know, and that's the way it was. It was in the way. And then when you made that decision, you put all that behind. You turned all that down. You said, no, I'm not doing that. That's okay. I'm good. And you made a move really quickly to get away from that. Because you didn't want to still be in an illusion and be confused like you was before. And when I say something was trying to keep me from doing this reading tonight, and I was telling y'all about the different things that was happening, why is diversion on this card? When I say spirit don't miss, spirit don't miss. Diversion is on this card. Oh, let me show you if I can get it where you can see it. It says diversion down there at the bottom. You see diversion, and then the last word is confusion. That's what Spirit said. And I was saying, I was being like something was trying to keep me, divert me, move me out, stop me from doing this reading tonight. And that was the energy. Because that's what happened to you. See? Okay. Whoever that is or whatever it is, you said no to and you left them behind. And I'm sure these people that's going to be shocked probably also going to be a little salty too at some point. Exactly what I just said. They're going to be salty. They're going to present some type of challenge. This is a 7 of Wands in the upright. You see him fighting off other people? You see that? You see him fighting it up, trying to stand his ground so he can stay on this path? You see them other 6 wands that's coming at him. He got one stick fighting them all off. He ain't even scared. It's 6 against 1. He not even scared. And he fighting them off. because he said, I ain't going back. That's what he said. I said that just before I pulled this card, there's probably some people that's salty. They not just shocked, they salty. You they are challenging you. They are. But you fighting them off. You're trying to persevere. You're trying to go to. You're trying to keep that Wheel of Fortune. You're trying to keep that. You're not trying to get that up. Mm-mm. Especially when Justice jumped in the room and said, "This is the way it's supposed to be for you." It's almost like in the Word where it says in the Word of God in the Bible that says, "If God be for you, who can be against you?" I said you can have this, and then I backed it up. I said, with justice, it's yours. And then I backed it up that what's yours is the Wheel of Fortune. So what they think they're doing when the Most High said it belonged to you. Okay. Let's go to the talking card. Who talking? Is it you? Who talking about this? Somebody talking about you, Cancer. Somebody talking about you. And then somebody want to talk to you. Okay? You got the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Okay? Page of Pentacles in the upright. Coming out for the talking oracle card that's in the upright. That says interested, awaiting messages, text calls, and email, and talking more. Remember earlier in the reading, I said something about somebody wants to talk to you and people are talking about you. I just said that again. And this is probably somebody you could not move forward with because you guys were not aligned. Okay? That it's possible that this is about to happen now. Okay? So in this Page of Pentacles, you starting off small. Okay? You're walking in the light. You just started. This is new and fresh. You don't feel like you got a lot to offer. You see him holding that one pentacle. Even still, even though you in the light, whoever this person is that you could not get with because y'all wasn't aligned, now that you on the righteous path, that this person is on already, you feel like you don't have a lot to offer that person, but you're going to try. You still going to give it a shot. You manifest in this relationship, wanting to be with this person. That's what you're doing. Yep. You are a lot of ambition right now. You feel ambitious right now. You feel more strength right now. But you have a desire to be with this person. And it was a desire from before when you was in the dark. And you still have that desire, Cancer. You still have it. And now it's very possible that you two can connect and be aligned. Mm-hmm. That's your desire. That's what it is. And you working hard to get yourself together, even though you don't have much now. You may not have much now. That one pentacle, that's going to multiply because you're on the righteous path. You on your journey. Justice said it is so. So you're trying to get yourself together so you can finally connect with this person. And y'all going to start talking again. Yes, there are people that's talking about you. We'll be possibly talking about the fact that the only reason you're doing this is because you want to be with this person. That's why they said it ain't real. They don't believe it's real. They think you're just doing it because you want to be with somebody else. But like I said, that magician card came out and said, abracadabra, you about to see. Watch me pull this rabbit out the hat. You about to see what's real and what's fake. Okay? Second card for the talking card in the upright is the Six of Swords in the upright. Okay, so with the Six of Swords in the upright, this is another card of transition, of changing, of leaving behind things. This is a card of releasing and letting go and moving forward. You're releasing baggage. You're releasing everything. You're moving on, regardless of what people are saying about you. Because they're doing a lot of talking. I just said that. This ain't just talking about you getting back with that person. because now y'all in, you're on that path and y'all are in alignment. This is about people talking about you. You moving on anyway. You release. They're the baggage. They're a big part of the baggage that you was carrying. Okay, there was that monkey on your back, and you dropped that monkey off at the zoo. Let him go ahead with the rest of the monkeys where they belong, and you moving on. The runner card in the reverse, please. Thank you, Spirit. It is the 10 of Wands in reverse. If you're not releasing everything that was holding you back, I don't know what you was doing. This is all the things that you was in the upright. This is all the stuff that was holding you back, that was keeping you in the dark, that was diverting your path, distracting you in the way. But it came out in the reverse. And if that ain't a release, I don't know what it is. This is clarifying the runner card that's in the reverse. The runner card in the reverse. Running away, intensity, letting go, turmoil. This is what you wasn't doing at first. You wasn't letting go. Because it came out in the reverse. So you wasn't letting go at first. You were holding on to some things. Just like this is in the upright. But this came out in the reverse, which means you're no longer running. The running card is in the reverse, which means you're not running. And then the 10 of Wands come out to say you're releasing. So as you're running, you're throwing things back behind you. You're running away from that mess. You're running away from the dark. And you throwing as you running. Getting rid of it. You're no longer afraid. We're almost done, y'all. Look, Cancer, this is what I'm talking about. You made an about face. I don't know what it was that was the last thing that made you take this sudden change of direction, but you said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. That's what you said. I could have sworn I saw a card that was flipped. I did. Yeah. You said, I'm not doing it no more. That's what you said, Cancer. Can I get one card, please? One more for the runner in reverse. I would like to have one. Por favor, please. Whoop. So this card is the Knight of Cups, okay? And it's in the reverse. I'm sorry. Here you go. Okay. This card says moodiness, disappointment, overreactive imagination, and jealousy. So remember I said that it's somebody that you know, some people you had to leave. You had to cut off directly, immediately. You stopped this dead in this track, whatever you was. I don't know who these people are that you left that can't come with you. And it just, they feel some type of way about that, of course. The shocking change, the first card is a shock. He's already letting you know they feeling a lot of things right now. You know, shock is the first thing. And then you got moodiness, which is them feeling some type of way about, you know, you moving on. They possibly see the blessings coming for you. All the doors is opening up, you know, for you and stuff. So they're disappointed that you walked away and cut it off like you did. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do no gradual thing. You just cut it and stop talking to folks. And they just, you know, got a problem with that. They're using their imagination. Like I said, it says overreactive imagination. A little while ago, I said, they probably said, and you thinking that the only reason you did this change because you want to be with somebody else, that you want to be with somebody, that it ain't real. That's them using their imagination as to what they think. They don't know what's going on inside of you. They don't know what made you make this decision. They don't know that this is for real. They don't know none of that. They just assuming stuff. You know what they say about people that assume, right? Yeah. Yep. And then they're jealous because they see you getting blessed. That's what this Knight of Cups in the reverse is. They jealous because you had the nerve, you were brave enough to say no, to turn away, and they're not. You found it within yourself to start loving yourself and pull away from whatever it was, and they don't have it in them to do that. So they're a little jealous because who do you think you is? Right? Bottom of my oracle deck is the blowing kisses card. It's a blowing kiss in the upright. Okay. And this is a card of unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection, return. But this is you looking for that from this person that you can now connect with. That's what that is. You're looking for unconditional love because you probably were living a type of life with the type of people that you hung with or was around or whatever, where I don't even want to call it love, but it was conditional. Those connections were unconditioned. If type of thing. If this, then that. You know what I mean? You do this, then that. You do this for me, then I'll do this for you type thing. Only. Because the type of people you were with probably won't do nothing for you unless you did something for them. It wasn't out of their heart. I mean, what heart? There was no love. There was none of that. So you want the opposite. You want unconditional love. You want giving and receiving in a relationship, real relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship or whatever it is. However you connected to people, you want it to be a equal give and take. That's what you want. And then you want fairness and you want real love. And then you want affection. If you're going to give affection that you're trying to give to this person, you want it back. And I got the feeling, the energy right now, they want the same thing you want. So what you seek is seeking you. Okay? In that respect. That's what's happening here. Okay? So you getting ready to get that with unconditional love. This is the blowing kisses card. You're getting ready to get it. That's what's about to happen. And you're not really caring what these people say. You've already put your boundaries up. Whatever they come to you with, because they're going to come to you, you about to say, not today. I'm not trying to hear it. My boundaries are up. I'm not trying to hear it. I don't want to even talk. We're not having no conversation. I'm not dealing with y'all. I'm still upset with how the fact that y'all had me out here like this and you didn't care nothing about, my well-being or nothing like that. You're going to get that love call, though, from an old girl or old boy, though. And you might get a love call, a fake love call from somebody else back that's in the dark, that's trying to pull you back, okay? Because that person is always out there partying, and your life used to be just one big party, Cancer. You was out there partying all the time. You see all those people, that's what you used to do. But see, you want to settle down and have a more quieter life, possibly want to go out for coffee with this person that you're now in alignment with. You want to start sitting down and having some serious conversations and meeting. You want to savor the moment with this new person, which is not really a new person, but the new life you want to have with this person because you couldn't do it before. You want to build a friendship with this person. So not only friends, but lovers as well, right? You need to take your time. The clock card is out here. So you are still healing from being in the dark. So don't push too hard. That's what this clock card is saying. You need to take your time to heal. Don't push too fast, all right? Make some healthy choices. Obviously, it's something that you need to do because you were living an unhealthy life if you was doing all that partying and stuff. So you're going to need to have some nutrients and put that in your body. You're going to have to make some self-love choices for yourself. Probably start exercising if you weren't before and start looking at the brighter side of life. Be more optimistic instead of pessimistic. Okay? Because that person that you're in alignment with could possibly be your soulmate. And so you need to take your time and heal and give yourself some self-love, make some healthy choices so you can get with this person that's possibly your soulmate. Because this is a soul connection. That's why you never forgot that person, even though y'all was apart and wasn't in alignment. This is possibly your partner, and it could be a soul contract or life partner with this person. Okay? Don't be pulled back into what you was in before. This is the seduction card. So what you was doing before can be enticing to you, and you better believe that it's coming up again. You understand? So if you standing 10 toes like you said you was, then stand 10 toes, Cancer. Okay? Okay? So you had a habit of old school is representing not necessarily old school music and stuff like that, but you had some outdated thinking. If you see it on this card, you were conditioned to think a certain way. And this is why you stayed in the dark. And a part of the problem that you have is that you was always in your head about stuff, Cancer. You was always in your head. You tossed back and forth different decisions and never fully made the decisions, but you did decide that only decision that you made was to stay in the dark because you knew you weren't going to be able to get with old boy or old girl living the life that she was living. They wasn't going to have it. And you wasn't about to change at that time, but you changing now because you're trying to heal your heart. That's what this card is saying. You're really trying to heal your heart. So whatever happened when you was in the dark must have did some serious damage to you, okay? And so you're moving forward, coming out of the dark, and you trying to heal your heart, okay? You want to have passion with this person that you didn't have before, the person that you couldn't be with because you was in the dark. Now you want to have passion with this person. It's very possible now because you're on the right path, okay? And part of the reason you stayed in the dark is because you didn't feel good enough to come over into the light, okay? You was blinded to some things and you was being held back. You see those, like her wrists are tied up and then this person is blindfolded. You was blinded to the truth of what the light really was. And so this is why you stayed in the dark. You did a lot of self-sabotaging as well. And then there's a lot of people in your ear talking to you. So you had to get out of that. You were very frustrated in the dark too, but now that you're on your path and you're in the light, you're not frustrated anymore. A lot of that is easing and you starting to feel more peaceful. Okay. Here's a dragonfly, which is another card of transition and change. Anytime you see that, that means change, good change is on the horizon. And this is definitely what's happening with you right now. And at some point you did look in the mirror, but this mirror is also representing the fact that you and this other person are now in alignment. You were mirroring each other even when you was in the dark, okay? That's why this person stayed in your energy and you was always thinking about them and they was thinking about you as well, okay? But then also when you was in the mirror, you did some self-reflecting right before you made this decision to come out of the dark. You did the introspection and that was mentioned earlier in the read. You had some inner wounds that was in you that needed to be healed and you weren't going to heal in the environment that broke you. So you came out of the dark into the light. And here's the death card again, which is also coinciding with this coffin card right here that we had earlier. So now we got the death card that's also saying you put to death some things. It's reiterating that point again. There's no second chances with the way you was before and the people that you was hanging with in the dark. You have really cut that off. You're growing and you're transforming. You said what is dead is dead. Let it stay dead. And even though some people are going to be shocked at your sudden change, a lot of them is not going to let you know that they shocked. They're going to have this poker face on when they come around you or when they see you. They're going to see you being blessed and they're going to keep their face straight and show no emotion. But inside and behind closed doors, these people are talking about you and they shocked. They really are. They're really shocked. They're not going to show their hand if they're trying to get you back. A certain few of them, they're not going to show. They're going to try to do something. As the old folks used to say, try to slick you real quick. But you got to stand 10 toes on it, like I said earlier. And you got the big picture. You did. Something happened that gave you the big picture of where you was in your life at that time before this transition. And you made the decision to go ahead and leap. And that's exactly what you did. And this is the end of this reading at this time. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Cancer. It was very interesting to me. And I'm very happy and excited for you with your change and your transition that you're making at this time. Be sure to remain strong while you're going through this transition. It's yet early in it. So you will be challenged. There will be things that's going to be thrown in your way, different types of roadblocks and stuff to get you tangled up and trip you up and stuff like that and make you feel confused. But keep going. It gets better. It gets clearer because we had clarity in this spread 3 times. Okay. That you were sure about where you were going. And if you follow and listen to your intuition, it'll remain clear the more you keep moving in that right direction. I'm so happy for you. I really am. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please make sure that you guys like this video. Okay. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay. And share the video. I see some of you guys are really sharing the videos. I keep saying that because you are, and it's like it's interesting because I wish I could see where you're sharing it to, but I'm glad that you're doing that, and I appreciate that because maybe somebody else needs to hear these videos. Make sure you go to my channel and you look at the videos that I already have posted, that's already on there, that are not live, and look at those and watch those and like those. Okay, leave your comments there. I have several shorts that I would like you guys to go ahead and check out as well. Go ahead and check out those shorts and like those shorts, and then leave me some comments on any of the work that I put out. Okay, and I will see you guys possibly tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna skip tomorrow, but when we come back, because we just did Cancer, what's next is going to be who's next? Leo. So Leo is next up on the board, and we will be doing Leo. If not tomorrow night, it'll be Tuesday night. Okay, and we will see you then. Be blessed, and I will see you guys later. Peace, love, and light. Love you guys. Bye.